legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feeling that power you have, your determination to control your breathing. The same way you can take control of your mind anywhere you are, whatever you're doing. Let's use that same power, that same determination to see in our mind the image, the visions that we want to create today in our lives. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can on all of the stretches and exercises we do together here and now. Let's use that power we have, our true being, our presence, our determination to see in our mind right now, go into the future. Think about what you want to make real. Bring it to the present. And that music goes off.
In the night I lie and look up at you. When the morning comes I watch you rise. There's a paradise they couldn't capture, that bright infinity inside your eyes.
매일 밤 내게 날아가 꿈이란 것도 잊은 채 나 웃으며 너를 만나 Never ending forever baby.
어둠이 내겐 더 변했었지. 길어진 그림자 속에서
And they said that we can't be together
Because
we come from different sides.
you are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make my world light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe.
나를 밝혀주는 건 너란 사랑으로 수놓아진 별. 내 우주에 넌 다른 세상을 만들어주는 걸. 너는 내 별이자 나의 호주니까 지금의 시련도 결국엔 잠시니까 너는 언제까지나 지금처럼 밝게만 빛나줘. 우리는 너로 따라 이긴 밤을 수놓고 너와 함께 날아가. When I'm without you I'm crazy. 자 어서 내 손을 잡아. We are made of each other baby. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make the world light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe.
But it's here for Fabregas. Goal for Messi. And almost.
Good morning, guys. Yesterday we talked about moving forward with determination. Today I want us to think of ourselves in terms of being an energy source. And our greatest energy is our thoughts. So I challenge us today, and from this point on, to move and tune into the channel of positive thought energy. The channel of positive thought energy. So today, things are going to come at us from the outside world. Negative things, most likely, but also some positive things. I want us to look at ourselves as a TV channel or a radio station. We have the ability to control the thought energy, that source, and align with that. So when something negative happens today, I want you to quickly think about what's going on with the energy of your thoughts. See if you can even take one moment where you change the channel into the channel of positive thought energy. I hope this helps everyone. Have a great day.
We must learn to center ourselves amid the chaos, the stress, the struggle, the challenge, the bad day. We must, in the moment, be able to flip from anger to peace. In the moment, be able to flip from stress to clarity, to ease, to freedom. We must teach ourselves to center ourselves both when we don't need it and when we do need it. And I think that's what's really important. I think one of the greatest disciplines we can ever give ourselves is this topic of centering. And so we must actively train ourselves as if we were going to have 10 times the pressure on us as we seek to achieve our dreams. Because I'm sure how many of you guys feel like the next mountain you climb is going to demand so much more of you than the last one? Like many of you guys, you got your dreams and your eyes set on huge ambitions, huge aspirations to provide for your family, to change the world, to do something significant and important. And when you've got that big dream way up there, trust me, it will demand more of you next time. So you must start training your mind now to deal with stress. Many of you, that means it is finally time to start learning meditation. It's like you've been thinking about it, you kind of meditate once in a while, and you've thought about it, or you did that one retreat one time. I'm like, make it a daily part of your life to center yourself every single day. For some of you, centering yourself, that just means closing your eyes, thinking about who you want to be, thinking about what's important, just calming your mind down. Other people, centering is like that can be just like if you're super stressed, lay down, take a quick nap. For some of you, that can mean like the important self-talk. Some of you, that means meditation. Like for me, if I don't center myself every day, twice a day, actively, the next day I know I'm going to get short with somebody. I'm going to let anxiousness get to me. I'll get my nerves, I'll get frustrated, I'll bow out, I'll quit. It's so clear, it's like super obvious to me that the days that I don't center end up in tomorrows that are chaotic. And so I just got to make sure I take that time every day. That might mean you go take a 45-minute walk. Many of you guys know every single day I walk outside. Every day. Rain, water, snow, sleet. I don't care. I will walk 30 to 45 minutes outside every day. I don't miss, because that just being out in nature and breathing and feeling the wind on my face and the sun just calms me down, gets me grounded back into the earth and into nature. And it's like, okay, every day. So for 20 plus years, I meditate at least once a day. I think for the last 14, maybe 11 years, I've meditated twice per day. Sometimes it's only 5 minutes both sessions. Sometimes it's 10 minutes both sessions. And when I don't get that, I might take like a 30-minute nap in the afternoon. At some point, I'll sneak away. Even when I used to have a corporate job and work for somebody else, I'd go close the door in one of the rooms, one of the meeting conference rooms. I close my eyes for 20 minutes. I meditate, take a nap, lay on the floor, do whatever I have to do. to recenter my mind. Your ability to deal with stress at this stage is dictating your ability to reach the next level. And so if you're somebody who is always dealing with that negative emotional range, nervousness, anxiousness, stress, depression, some of the big issues that came up today, make sure you seek support. Go see a professional. Go see a therapist. Go see a psychiatrist. Go see whoever your doctor recommends you to get support in that mental health department. For those of you who aren't dealing with clinical issues after those conversations, maybe it's time for you to finally do the things you know you need to do to calm yourself down, right? Don't look at so much social media every day. Because going into here is not centering you. This is reaction mode. That's all this is. Reaction, 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 reaction. And every one of these swipes is firing more chaos in your brain. Like literally, it's hitting more dopamine. And it feels reward, 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 reward. But your eyes are burning, your attention is burning. You're exhausted after, not reinvigorated. We need reinvigorating activities for you each day. So what are some reinvigorating activities? Reinvigorating activities for me might always start with sleep, always include meditation, always include a walk outside. For me, always include a cold shower. I know none of you're going to hate the idea of a cold shower. For me, I take adaptogens. These are stress support supplements that help me just like, okay, more able to deal with the stress because my mind is a squirrel and it's crazy, so it centers me. Again, that's the same product, HPX optimized for me. Some of you might take supplements that you. Maybe you take some like calming chamomile tea, right? That costs super cheap. Like whatever you need to do, you need a centering practice every day. Because the more you center yourself every day as a discipline, then in the moments that matter, the more you're able to lock it in. So a couple things you can do in moments that matter, right? When all of a sudden you feel yourself get angry, you feel yourself get freaked out, and that's about to win. The very first move you must do when you feel that coming on, when you're like getting whacked around into chaos, the very first thing I want you to always remember to do is center in on your breath. I want you, soon you feel like angry, start taking deep breaths from the belly, and I want you to count those breaths 20 times. Just start. Like immediately start counting your breathing. If someone's hollering and screaming, before you holler and scream back and react, breathe. The best way to center the mind and the body is through deep breathing. There's literally thousands of years of research behind this in terms of both the more anecdotal to what we now know in neuroscience. That deep breathing can deeply calm the mind and help you make better decisions. So just breathe. Just breathe. The first thing is breath awareness. Second thing is body awareness. Be attentive to when you feel how are you holding your body? A lot of people get really tense in their shoulders and their neck, which is cueing their brain to go, emergency, 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 get out, scream, holler, fight. And what I want you to do is first breathe. That's breath awareness. Second, body awareness. Drop those shoulders, pull that chest out, elongate that neck, put your feet shoulder width, just stand up. Like just be tall and stand and breathe. That's huge. If you're alone and you're feeling these things, or if it's proper, I mean, because sometimes I do this with my wife and she's around, all of a sudden I start feeling anxious, upset or something. I will literally drop down in a downward dog. I will breathe. I will roll around on the floor I would just go, I'm telling you what, I will just start stretching myself out right as we're in a conflict. I know, I'm a child. No, she knows this appreciate because I'm calming myself down. Because for me, centering is a very physical thing. It really is. It's a physical thing, and that's so important for me. So breath awareness, number one. And I really encourage you to set an intention to count. Don't just focus on your breath. Count. Breathe, count. Breathe, count. Breathe, count. Second, make sure you use your body. Get body awareness. I really encourage you, drop those shoulders, straighten your neck out, open up your body. It will give you more energy. And then third, what I really encourage you to do in centering, and this is really important, as you're breathing out, When you're breathing in, a lot of people think of just breathing in. I want you to breathe out, but imagine yourself breathing out and it's just dropping the energy and grounding the earth and pulling it up and grounding it at the earth. Like your breathing out is just as important as an intention as breathing in. And if you can get in that mode, you just start noticing you feel better. And then that third piece though, if outside of the centering into the ground, the third thing is intention, intention, intention. For me, I train myself on the 3 words I want to be, and I'll remind myself, just remind myself those 3 words, remind myself those 3 words, remind myself those 3 words. Because it's easy for me to be reactive and be responsive, and instead I want to be intentional. So know those 3 words that really defined you, and repeat those. Like oftentimes when if you ever see me around and I'm like this, all I'm doing is I'm kind of rocking, I'm breathing in and out deeply, I'm getting attentive to my body and my posture, and I'm repeating my 3 words just to reconnect. Because I do that every day. In the moment of crisis, because see, moments of crisis, it feels like everything's out of control. But what can I control? Breath, body awareness, what I say to myself. Breath, body awareness, what I say to myself. I do that over and over and over again, and it really helps me lock back in. I hope this supports some of you, because emotionally, learning to be centered emotionally will so support you as you go to change your life. Today,
certainly will put this game out of sight of Rapping, which he does. Coolness personified.
Good morning, everyone. Today, in our top 10 rules for success journey, Warren Buffett introduces us to a concept, a phrase that I love, the circle of competence. This is what he uses to describe himself staying within a knowledge base that he understands well. And he also goes on to say that we should not care what other people think. And I think I understand the spirit of that. Of course, we want to care what people think because ultimately it affects everyone, because thought energy is everywhere and we're transmitting it and absorbing it and detracting it every single minute. But I think the idea is that we want to be able to stay within what we know. So for example, I know myself that positive thought energy would lead to good things in my life. So if I stay in that circle of competence of what I know works, then that will become magnified and attract itself. So same thing with you. Stay within what you know. Take what people say because they care, but you do what you have to do. Have a great day, everyone.
You have never seen in this world. You're creating something in the mind. You have never seen it in person. Why? Because it's not existing yet. Yet you can see it. This can mean a fear also. A fear what's going to happen tomorrow. A fear what will happen to my children if I will not be able to take care of them anymore. So there is something you're projecting already that is not here yet.
It's not real.
You are projecting it inside of you, and the feelings based upon that way of thinking still makes it real to you.
Even though it's not in the world yet.
Yes. So this is how you need to be careful what you're creating on the mind. This is the reason why it's so important to know what are you placing inside the mind. Because it's so powerful.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I watch these videos every day because I need them for motivation. Being around successful entrepreneurs every morning helps me believe that I can do great things too. It's like your morning coffee, but for your goals, kickstarting your day with a blast of positivity. So here is a challenge for you. Try watching one video every morning for the next 30 days. And let's find out together if they help you do great things too. If you're in, leave a hashtag BELIEVE in the comments below so I can celebrate with you. So today let's learn how to visualize and use the law of attraction. Enjoy.
But now assuming that we all do not want to create our own descent or decay, anything like this. Let's say this is not what we want, but we want to have something that we would like to create.
Yeah.
Let's say. So the question right now is, how do I get something from what at the moment is only in my mind into something that it becomes what we would call real? When is something real? It's real when it's here. When also other people can see it, not just you in the mind. Then it's real. Because like you can imagine you have like some beautiful woman as a girlfriend, yeah?
but no one else sees it.
But nobody else sees it, yeah? It's only real if there's another witness who sees you and that girl walking together. Then it's real. So, and how do we make this now happen? It is on the one side, of course, you need a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You need a small step-by-step plan. And I really think that meanwhile, especially like in modern businesses, it's very similar like when you make project management. Mm-hmm. You break your ideas, of course, down into walkable steps. So that's why I think I don't need to say so much to it. But along this plan, along this way of, let's say, trying to make it become real, this can also mean you need to find more and more ways. How does something so fine like your thoughts start to shape into a form? So it is about find ways to give it expression.
Can you explain?
Yes, write it down on paper. Is one way of giving thoughts an expression.
Speaking about it.
Speaking it out to your friends. More people know about it. Writing it onto your fridge. Something where the thought starts to enter into your visible world. This is the small steps that just support you on this mission. These are small things. a next step would be whatever you would like to achieve there. What skills are necessary? Do you have the skills? Now a little bit more nicely drawn. It means you want to go on a mission, but at the moment you don't know yet in which direction you have to move. So that means the first thing in order for you to answer this question, which direction to move, is you need to know your location. And this now translated into, so what is it I'm supposed to do? Who are you at the moment? What are your abilities at this very moment? What do you have available time-wise, financial-wise? It doesn't matter. In which situation are you right now? So we need to see where is our actual location. So, and from there now it starts. At least now you have a hint. If you want to go there, but at the moment you don't know yet, where are you located? If you're located here, you know you need to walk here. East. If you are located here, it's not east, because then you're going to make a long way. So that it really depends on where are you located. And this is why it's from person to person. It's different, and I cannot always tell to the same person, so you want to go there? Go east. You want to go there too? You also go east. No. Because they are not starting from the same position.
Yeah.
Some people have already some education and some experience previously that will immensely help them to already start from a different point.
Rule number 2 is use affirmations daily with Bob Proctor.
I had an affirmation that I used for years, still use it. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. And I just keep repeating that like a mantra. And you write out, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have in my possession $1 million. And that's where you started out intellectually, then you get emotionally involved. And if you keep doing that, ultimately, you're going to attract the money. You could spend, 9 minutes. If you just write this down right now. I am so happy and grateful. I am so happy and grateful now that I have multiple sources of income. I am so happy and grateful now that I have multiple sources of income. If you write that out every day for the next 30, 60 days, you're going to become very, very aware of having multiple sources of income. Wealthy people all have multiple sources. They don't have one or two. They have a whole bunch of them. I don't know how many sources of income I've got. I'm not even interested in figuring it out because somebody else looks after that. I don't look after it. But I do know that you can do that. That's what Keith did it down in New Orleans. God, his life changed so dramatically. And I'll show you different things you can do because anyone can. You want to set up multiple sources of income.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight our favorite lessons from the video that will inspire you to remember what you learned today and actually apply them. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 3 is overcome your old personality with Joe Dispenza.
You ought to stay conscious and not go unconscious. And it turns out that 95% of the time we're unconscious. So if you're going to stay conscious, then there's an element that also requires a certain amount of awareness or energy. And you got to step outside of that unconscious state. So the thoughts that they're thinking are slipping by their awareness unnoticed because they're hardwired in their brain, because they've been saying, I can't, it's too hard, my life will never change, it's someone else's fault. Those thoughts have consequences in the body. So then if a person then becomes conscious of those unconscious thoughts, becomes aware of how they speak and how they act, and they notice how they're feeling, they're no longer the program. They're the consciousness outside the program, and that's the first step to change. So when you're distracted by your environment and you got your cell phone and you're tweeting and you're Instagramming and Facebooking and whatever people do, you're distracted by that feeling. But I now know that if you take a person and you say, okay, close your eyes, sit in the silence of any external stimulation, remove the environment, sit your body down like an animal. Body is the animal. Tell it to stay. I'm going to feed you. You can check your cell phone. You can shower. You can have your coffee. But when I say, and so then here comes the challenge, right? So, and then if you say then you're not going to live in the familiar past or predictable future, you're not going to think about how long you've been meditating, what you got to do. You labor for that present moment. People think when they do this that they're doing something wrong because there's such discomfort that comes with it. But they're in the unknown. They're actually doing it right. People say, I think I'm meditating wrong. I always say, oh, no, you're doing it right. Because when you notice that your body wants to get up and check your cell phone or have a cup of coffee, and you become aware that it's on autopilot and wants to do that, and you say, come on over here, and you return it back to the present moment, you're executing a will now that's greater than the program. And if the person wants to just get angry while they're sitting there, there's an arousal, and they notice the body is amping up and revving up, and they settle it back down. Now they're telling the body it's no longer the mind, that they're the mind. Now, we've researched this, and it's tedious in the beginning at first because David is fighting Goliath. But if you keep practicing it, just like training an animal, sooner or later the body acquiesces. Sooner or later the body is trained to a new mind. And when that happens, there's a liberation of energy. The body goes from particle to wave, from matter to energy, and there goes that emotion, literally liberated from the body as energy. So the person who has the strong emotion to some circumstance in their life, and they're working on lowering the volume of that emotion, the more they lower the volume of that emotion, the more they're going to take their attention off that person and problem, and they're going to take their power back. There's going to be a break in their attention from that circumstance. And now they build their own field. And now there's energy to heal. Now there's energy to create a new life. Now there's energy for the mystical moment because they've overcome their old personality self. So I think, it's not like thinking positively. That's not the message.
Yeah.
It's overcoming until we become somebody else. And when that occurs and the person starts thinking differently and they start acting differently and they start feeling differently, they're a new personality. And they start seeing those synchronicities and serendipities.
Number 4 is eliminate negative beliefs with Bruce Lipton.
Negative beliefs are equally powerful in controlling your health as are positive beliefs, except in the opposite direction. A positive belief can heal you from any disease. A negative belief can kill you by creating any disease. A belief can create the disease as much as a belief can create the healing. And I go, so the significance of this is profound because nobody talks about the negative belief. And I go, negative beliefs are powerful. It's called nocebo, as you mentioned. And as I said, they can cause any disease and they can kill you. Just because you believe you're going to die you can die just from the belief. Just as much as you are dying of a cancer, you change your belief and you can then heal the cancer. I go, how? I love this because a friend of mine, her name is Anita Morjani, and she wrote a book called Dying to Be Me. She had 4 years of cancer. In the final days of her life, in the final week, she was so emaciated that the cancer lumps were sticking out of her skin because she lost so much body weight, and the cancer lumps were sticking out. She's on a machine for life support. She goes into a coma, and her oncologist, who's been working with cancer patients for years, says, oh, this is the final stage of a person before they die. So get in touch with all the family members and say, Anita is dying. She's in a coma. This is a sign that's the end of her life. And she has an out-of-body experience, a consciousness change, that the issues that were related to her life had to do with a lot of the fact that she was so feeling guilty of upsetting her family. She came from an Indian family with prearranged marriages, and she pulled out of a prearranged marriage about 3 days before the wedding, which made her family look like, low-class people. It's like, you broke a prearranged marriage. That's like against the rules and everything. That irritated her father, who she had a lot of love, but then that irritated her father, and then she felt she's now alienated from that love. That's what precipitated the cancer. Her out-of-body experience on the last day of her life, according to her oncologist, she had an out-of-body experience of communicating with her dead father, who said, no, what happened on earth stays on earth. When you transcend, you're not there anymore. And everything's wonderful, and we love you and all that. She comes out of the coma, and the first thing she says, I want to eat something. She was like, give me some ice cream. And she was like, what? Within a day, she was off the machines. Within a week to 2 weeks, there was no visible cancer anymore. And in fact, the doctors were saying, it's in there somewhere. And she kept saying, no, there's no more cancer. And they kept looking, and after a couple of more weeks of looking, they said, no, she doesn't have any sign of cancer. She was on her last day of life with cancer, and a belief changed, that she realized her father is not angry with her. She didn't alienate the love of her family. And that thought, when she woke up out of the coma, was the placebo, in a sense, of the healing thought that healed her from her last day of life. So people with cancer, and they're all struggling, I go, even to the very last day, the moment you change that consciousness is the moment you can have the cancer go into remission and disappear. Killing the cancer cells is like, oh, I'm going to get those evil cells. And I said, the cells were just following the instructions that came from your consciousness. You don't want evil cells, then change the evil thoughts coming from your consciousness. The cancer disappears. So it's a power that we have. It's a power of our creativity, which we don't believe in. And I go, okay, quantum physics is the most valid, truthful science in the sense that the theoretical understanding of quantum physics matches every experiment that has been understood about it. I go, well, let me tell you the first principle of quantum physics. That principle is consciousness is creating our life experiences. You want to change your life experiences? Don't change the world. Change the consciousness. The world will change behind that.
Hi, I'm Bruce Lipton, author of the best-selling books, The Biology of Belief, Spontaneous Evolution, and The Honeymoon Effect. I'm here to thank Evan Carmichael for featuring me on his YouTube channel, and I want to let you know that Evan is giving away links where you can watch the first episodes of my special Gaia series entitled Inner Evolution for free. Evan is making this offer to thank you for watching this video. You will find the links in the description section below. Thank you.
And rule number 5, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is visualize what you desire with Neville Goddard.
There's a wide difference between thinking of what you want in this world and thinking from what you want. Let me tell you, when I first heard of the strange and wonderful power of the imagination, it was in 1933 in New York City. An old friend of mine taught it to me. He turned to the 14th of John, and this is what he read. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. He explained to me that this central character of the Gospels was human imagination. That mansion was not a place in some heavenly house, but simply my desire. If I would make a living representation of the state desired, and then enter that state and abide in that state, I would realize it. At the time, I wanted to make a trip to the island of Barbados in the West Indies, but I had no money. He explained to me that if I would that night, as I slept in New York City, assume that I was sleeping in my earthly father's house in Barbados, and go sound asleep in that state, that I would realize my trip. Well, I took him at his word and tried it. For 1 month, night after night, as I fell asleep, I assumed I was sleeping in my father's home in Barbados. At the end of my month, an invitation from my family came, inviting me to spend the winter in Barbados. I sailed for Barbados the early part of December of that year. From then on, I knew I had found this Savior in myself. The old man told me that it would never fail. Even after it happened, I could hardly believe that it would not have happened anyway. That's how strange this whole thing is. On reflection, it happens so naturally. You begin to feel or to tell yourself, well, it would have happened anyway. And you quickly recover from this wonderful experience of yours. It never failed me if I would give the mood, the imagined mood, sensory vividness. I could tell you unnumbered case histories to show you how it works. But in essence, it's simple. You simply know what you want. When you know what you want, you're thinking of it. That is not enough. You must now begin to think from it. Well, how could I think from it? I am sitting here, and I desire to be elsewhere. How could I, while sitting here physically, put myself in imagination at a point in space removed from this room and make that real to me? Quite easily. My imagination puts me in touch inwardly with that state. I imagine that I am actually where I desire to be. Now, can I tell that I am there? There is only one way to prove that I am there. For what a man sees when he describes his world is as he describes it relative to himself. So what the world looks like depends entirely upon where I stand when I make my observation. So if, as I describe my world, it is related to that point in space I imagine that I am occupying, then I must be there. I am not there physically, no, but I am there in my imagination. And my imagination is my real self. And where I go in imagination and make it real, there I shall go in the flesh also. When in that state I fall asleep, it is done. I have never seen it fail. So this is the simple technique on how to use your imagination to realize your every objective.
I'm living a dream, but it's how everyone feels. We all unite with one feel. So let's wave our hands. We can sing, we can dance. We are strong, hold on tight. from afar. We unite. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our. This is the time of our. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. I love this moment right now. No one can take it away. So let it happen and how. It's why I cherish each day. So let's wave our hands. We can sing, we can dance. We are strong. Hold on tight from afar. We unite.
Here we go.
Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. What we see, destiny. Realize now we all know the greatest. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our.
Wiggle that ball away from Escudez as Iniesta. Onto it now is Messi. Brilliantly done. Oh, it's glorious.
Morning, guys. In a world where the greatest challenge we face, or one of the greatest challenges we face, is our mind health, I want us to remember one thing. It is the one thing that is an absolute certainty in a world of uncertainty, fear, doubt, anxiety, depression, ignorance, all these negative things. One thing from here on in. Even if you don't understand it or believe it, I do. And I'll never stop. I'll always believe in this power in you and all of us. And it can change everything. It can save you in your darkest hour. And it is this. You have the most powerful thing in the universe. It's in here. Yes, you. Doesn't matter if you're a young child or 100 years old. You have the ability to control your mind, and you have the most powerful thing in the universe. I believe it. I'll never stop believing it.
I want to read books I'd never read. I want to hang around people that I'd never hang around. I want to know what they know. I want to have discussions about things I'd never talked about. I wanted to feed my brain something that my brain didn't know, so that my brain can tell my body to do something it never done. So then when my brain feeds my body and my body feeds my life, then I begin to have an experience that I'd never had before. It wasn't rocket science. People want to make success rocket science. Success is not rocket science. You go and find the thing thing that you don't know, learn the thing you don't know, and do the thing you haven't been doing, and get the life you say you want. But you have to understand that most people don't invite in unfamiliar because people are more committed to a familiar discomfort than they are to an unfamiliar new possibility. The key words are familiar and unfamiliar. See, we want to have a new experience while having some of the same behaviors because they're familiar to us. People are still at jobs that aren't even comfortable. They're just familiar. I became comfortable living in the discomfort of the unknown.
Need motivation?
Watch Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because in my first business, I quit on my business partner. I struggled to keep going. I was making $300 a month and felt like a complete failure. And the thing that saved me, that pulled me up, was studying the stories of famous entrepreneurs. I got the motivation from them. I also got the strategies of what to do next so that I can go off and achieve my dreams. And quite honestly, I still need the stories today myself to continue my motivation to take it to the next level. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Lisa Nichols, and my take on her top 50 rules for success. Enjoy.
Is to, instead of making big macro goals, you know, those big bodacious goals, make some micro goals, smaller goals. I don't make an annual goal. I make quarterly goals. I make monthly goals. And each quarter and each month, the goal that I hit, I stop and celebrate myself. Now, I celebrate myself by making me something really good and inviting one person over or 3 people over and say, I'm celebrating myself for small micro wins. Taking myself out for a nice night, something to eat, or just sharing with a friend. Celebrating yourself along the journey is also not keeping your wins a secret. I used to keep my victories a secret. I would get an award, or I would close a deal, or I would get a new contract, or I would whatever. And no one knew because I didn't want to brag. Well, what if I know I'm not a bragger? Like, what if you know you're not a bragger? Can you not be someone who brags, but is someone who wants to celebrate yourself along the journey? We're all like little 3-year-old kids. What gets celebrated gets repeated. And if you want to repeat successful behaviors, then you got to celebrate them because what's celebrated gets repeated.
So the first thing I said was, I'm done with this level of misery. So I didn't run toward anything first. The first thing I did was try to get as far away from chaos and scarcity and lack and procrastination and procrastinating people and making excuses, making being a single mom an excuse, or being Black an excuse, or being born in LA an excuse. Not to say those things don't impede or have an impact on our ability to move forward, but I didn't want to make any one of them my crutch as to why I stayed in my hellhole. I don't know about anyone else, but my place, I didn't know where I was going, but I knew where I was leaving.
Over my career, and I've been in business over 20 years now, people from all around the world, students at every level, whether they are newly into launching their business or they've been in business themselves for 10, 15 years, ask the question, how do I overcome fear? I'm about to disrupt you completely, because I am not going to give you a strategy to overcome fear. Because if I even attempt to give you a strategy, and I know we're always looking at stuff, reading things, how to overcome fears. There are probably 10 steps to overcoming fear somewhere out there. They weren't written by me, and I could never write it. Because I don't think you wait to overcome fear to live the life of your dreams or the one that you deserve, or to blow your own mind. I personally, and I'm teaching you from my life lessons, from what I've studied, what I've applied, what I've implemented, what I've fallen from, what I've soared from, what I've gotten up from. And I don't think you focus on learning how to overcome fear, though there are things that helps to mitigate your fear. Information mitigates fear. Training and developing your skill set mitigates fear. I teach speaking. I love teaching people how to speak powerfully. Not to speak to be great, but to speak to be unforgettable. Whether you're a speaker or whether you're a manager, whether you're in retails or in network marketing, whatever it is, when you open your mouth, you want to be unforgettable. And people always say, Lisa, how do I overcome the fear of speaking? I say, let's not focus on the fear of speaking, because energy grows where energy goes. So let's not focus on overcoming fear. Let's focus on building a muscle that naturally dissolves fear. And that muscle is the muscle of information, the muscle of education, and the muscle of skill set. So if you know more and then you develop the skill set, you won't be as afraid to do that thing that you're talking about. But the other side to that, now I'm going to disrupt you a bit. So the first part, not so disruptive. That means go get it more information, give fear what fear needs to reduce itself, meaning information skill set. But this other part that I'm going to tell you, this might be disruptive. How about you not try to mitigate, resolve, or get past, or overcome, whatever you want to call it? How about you not try to do that with fear? How about you allow the fear to sit with you? You just commit to keep moving, even with the fear. So many times in my life and in my career, I was afraid. The difference between me and most is that I still move forward with the fear. Fear does not have a past to stop you. Fear does not have a past to stop you. First of all, let me just tell you this. Just like compassion, just like love, just like respect, just like any other feeling you feel for someone, fear is just a feeling. We just give fear more power. We say, when compassion comes, I hug, I love. When understanding comes, when joy comes, when humor comes, I laugh. But when fear comes, I get to stop. What if you change the meaning to that? Ooh, just stick with me right here. What if you change your dance with fear? What if you tell fear, you're welcome in my life because you're gonna come. Can't keep you away. But when you come, I'm not going to stop.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Again, you say your name first. Lisa, I commit to you that. And you make 7 different commitments to yourself. That before you go out of your door and you commit to other people, because you know, we're more apt to honor our commitment to other people than we are to
Feel that? Feel that power? That oneness of us controlling our breathing and our minds? Right here, right now? No matter how hard our movements, exercises were today, no matter how much our body tried to take control of our minds, feel that? That's you. The real you. That's our consciousness. Our being awake fully. To control our minds, to control our breathing, to control our bodies, to control our lives. It's all possible through the power of you being present, staying in the now, right here, right now, wherever you are, wherever you are. There is no past and future right now. There's everything